1 minute to awaken your memory. A story about breath, water, and life's small movements. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you went there? Or been in the middle of a conversation and, just like that, lost a word that was right on the tip of your tongue? If so, you're not alone. I see this every day, in my clinic, in hospital hallways, and during chats with patients in their 70s and beyond. And truthfully, it happens to me too sometimes. I've been a doctor for over 35 years in the United States, specializing in neurological health for older adults. And here's one thing I've learned. Our brains, just like our hearts, need exercise. But the surprising part? That workout doesn't happen at the gym. It begins right inside your mouth. It all started with an 80-year-old teacher. A few years ago, I had a patient named Helen, a retired literature teacher who had taught for over 40 years. When she came to see me, she said, "Doctor, I still remember Emily Dickinson's poems, but sometimes the words just won't come out. It's like they're stuck somewhere in my mouth." I smiled and said, "Helen, maybe the problem isn't your memory, it's your tongue." She laughed. "My tongue? What do you mean?" That's when I taught her the 1-minute tongue exercise, a 1-minute exercise that awakens the brain. Here's how it goes. Sit up straight, take a deep breath, then stick your tongue out. Not to tease anyone, but to activate thousands of nerves that connect directly to the brain's language and memory centers. Stick your tongue out for 5 seconds. Move it to the right for 5 seconds. To the left for 5 seconds. Press it gently to the roof of your mouth for 5 seconds. Then make slow circles. 5 clockwise, 5 counterclockwise. That's it. 2 rounds make 1 full minute. People often ask me, "Really? Just 1 minute?" And I always reply, you don't need much to wake up your brain. Just consistency and awareness. Why it works. Neuroscience has shown that the tongue is one of the most densely innervated muscles in the body. When you move it intentionally, electrical signals fire across the language centers, hippocampus, which controls memory, and prefrontal cortex, the area that handles focus and decision-making. I tell my patients, every time you move your tongue, you're flipping the switch of your memory. Just like starting your car in the morning, not to drive anywhere, but to keep the engine alive. 3 golden keys to make that 1 minute truly work. Before we begin, I always share 3 simple but powerful tips. 1. Drink a glass of water. It sounds trivial, but did you know your brain is 80% water? When you're dehydrated, neurons slow down, blood thickens, and memory fades. A single glass of room temperature water before you start is like watering a dry garden. Your brain wakes up. Don't let your brain wilt just because you forgot to drink water, I like to say. 2. Breathe slowly and deeply. While moving your tongue, inhale gently through your nose and exhale softly through your mouth, as if blowing out a candle. Each breath massages your brain, activates your parasympathetic system, and calms your body. You'll feel your mind lighten, your eyes sharpen, and a cool wave drift across the back of your head. I call this the moment when your brain smiles. 3. Play soft music. No Beethoven required. Just something gentle. A soft guitar tune, rain sounds, or a flowing stream. Music releases dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter that enhances learning and memory. When combined with mindful movement, it doesn't just activate the brain, it heals it. One of my patients, Nora, age 76, once said, "Doctor, every time I turn on music, my body automatically starts doing the tongue exercise. It's like brushing my teeth now." That's exactly the goal, to make brain care part of daily life, not a chore. When you feel warm, your brain is waking up. After doing the exercise, many patients tell me they feel warmth in their head, tingling in their cheeks, or the urge to yawn. That's not fatigue. It's the beautiful sign that your brain is receiving fresh blood and energy. Think of your brain as a garden long left unattended. When you water it, even just a little, the flowers wake, the soil breathes, and life begins again. The second minute for your neck. If the tongue connects speech and memory, the neck connects blood to the brain. Sadly, most people forget their neck entirely. We spend all day looking down at phones, sitting at desks, tightening shoulders, straining muscles. The result? Reduced blood flow, less oxygen, fatigue, dizziness, forgetfulness. I often ask my patients, when your neck feels stiff, do you realize your brain might be gasping for air? So I teach them a gentle, mindful neck routine. No effort, just awareness. Sit tall. Turn your head to the right. Hold for 3 seconds. Turn to the left. Hold for 3 seconds. Tilt your head back and look toward the ceiling. Feel the front of your neck stretch. Then lower your chin slowly to your chest. That's 30 seconds. 2 rounds make 1 minute. A perfect way to open blood flow to the brain, reduce dizziness, improve focus, and even sleep better. George's story. George, 72, once came to me, eyes downcast. "Doctor, I can't even remember the name of my best friend, the one I've known for 40 years. We started with the tongue and neck exercises every morning. 3 weeks later, he returned, smiling. Yesterday, I remembered his old phone number. I don't know how, but it came back. I smiled and said, 'Your brain never left you, George. It just needed a wake-up call, 1 minute, but done with presence.' The power isn't in how long you do it, but in how present you are while doing it. If you rush, your brain reads it as stress, and the benefit disappears. But if you move slowly, breathe deeply, and feel each motion, that's when your body and mind meet. A single minute, done mindfully, can transform your whole day. You'll feel lighter, clearer, and, most importantly, at peace. Science calls it neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rebuild and rewire. I call it something simpler, the belief that we can still change. Because no matter if you're 50, 60, or 80, your brain can still learn, heal, and reconnect. All it needs is a chance, a single minute each day, with breath, water, and a bit of music. So, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't reach for your phone. Drink a glass of water. Sit tall. Take a deep breath. Play your favorite music. And give yourself one mindful minute. Let your tongue dance like a small waltz of memory. Let your neck open like a flowing river. And let your mind bloom again. Because I truly believe 1 minute a day can change a lifetime. And if you're hearing this right now, perhaps today is the very first day of your 1 minute. Thank you for being here, for taking this moment to listen. And if this message touched you, try it right now, while it's still fresh, and share it with someone you love. Maybe, just maybe, this 1 minute will help them remember a lifetime of memories. 1 minute for your memory and for your soul. I've always believed this. True healing, whether of memory, of health, or of the soul, doesn't begin with medicine or with expensive technology. It begins within with one simple decision. I want to live more clearly, more peacefully, and remember more deeply the things I love. 1 minute. A moment of life. You know, I used to think that time was the enemy of aging, but the older I get, the more I understand. Time doesn't take away our memory. It only asks one question. Are you truly living each moment that passes? 1 minute that you give to your body. When your tongue moves, your neck opens, your ears relax, your toes stretch. That's not just an exercise. That's your way of saying thank you to yourself. Thank you for still being here, for still being alive, for still being able to change. That 1 minute is a seed. Each time you practice, imagine planting a small seed in the garden of your brain. On the first day, nothing changes. By the 7th, your head feels lighter. By the 20th, you suddenly remember an old friend's name. And by the 30th, you realize you've bloomed. Science calls it neural rewiring, rebuilding the brain's connections. But to me, it's simply the rebirth of memory. Memories don't disappear. They're just waiting for you to knock. An elderly man once told me, "Doctor, I thought I had forgotten my wife's laughter, but yesterday I heard an old song, and I remembered." And I cried, I placed my hand on his shoulder and said, "No one truly forgets the ones they love. Sometimes we just forget to open the door to our memories." And every small movement of the tongue, the neck, the ears, the feet, is a key to open those doors again. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt awake, truly alive? Maybe it was this morning, when sunlight touched your hands, or maybe it's been a long time since you felt that way. If so, start again. Today. Just 1 minute. No pressure, no force, just presence. Be there in that moment. With your breath, your music, and your gratitude. Remember this. Aging doesn't make us weak. Forgetting ourselves does. Each day, when you take a minute to reconnect with your body, you're telling time itself, I'm not done yet. I still have things to feel, to learn, to remember. Don't do these exercises just for memory. Do them for the mornings you want to remember birds singing outside your window, for the face of the person you love, for the confidence of walking without needing to hold the wall. Because sometimes the greatest changes come from the smallest movements. 1 minute a day may not make you younger, but it will help you live more deeply, more clearly, and more connected to yourself. A small challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, place the calendar next to your toothbrush. After washing your face, do your 1-minute routine. Then mark the first check mark. That's it. No promises, no pressure. Then, after 30 days, look back at that line of check marks. Feel the quiet pride in your heart, knowing you didn't give up. You chose to live intentionally, even if only for a single minute a day. A gentle goodbye. And a promise? I don't know where you're watching this from. Maybe a cozy kitchen, a quiet bedroom, or a care home with the soft glow of a bedside lamp. But I want to tell you this. Your brain is still here, ready, waiting for you to wake it up. Give it a chance. One breath, one small movement, and day by day, you'll find yourself remembering more, speaking more easily, and feeling more alive. If you start today, I'd love for you to join me in the 1 minute a day, 30 days to awaken your memory challenge. Comment below. I'm starting today. I'll read every message and wish you health, clarity, and patience. I'm Dr. Robert, and I believe this with all my heart. It's never too late to remember who you are. If this video spoke to you, share it with someone you love. Because maybe, just maybe, your 1 minute today could change someone else's life. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, breathe slowly, live gently, and let your memories bloom. 1 minute a day, enough to begin again. Subscribe to join us, to live healthy, live aware, and live every minute fully.